Hello, because of the way you submitted the essay, I cannot make comments directly onto it, so I decided to use audio comments instead. So I am reading your essay, and you can listen to my reactions as I read. The very first sentence, as I start reading your definition about millennial generations, that's certainly useful information, but I don't know why you're writing about millennial generations in the first sentence. In other words, your essay lacks a kairotic moment. So you may want to look up kairos again in our textbook. The first paragraph does not really have a thesis statement. It finishes with the idea that parents can be more involved in their children's life well into adulthood. More involved than what? That question is unanswered, so leaves the reader confused really after the first paragraph. The idea of the second paragraph, I think, may be some kind of helicopter parenting, and adults who are in the millennial generation who are, according to your essay, maybe too dependent on computer technology and too dependent on parents. Again, those are pretty broad statements. It's going to be difficult to measure that. And more importantly, that's really not the assignment. The assignment is to evaluate a phenomenon, not to evaluate an entire cohort of millions of people and say that they are or are not, quote unquote, too dependent on parents. That wasn't really the assignment, but you're hardly the only one to have taken that misstep. You give some quotes from people weighing in that these 18, 19, 20-year-olds have been overparented. That's a term that you use in this paragraph, the dean at Stanford University. So basically, what's your evidence that people in your generation are overparented? Your evidence is that some people in my generation say that they're overparented. That's a start. Certainly these are people who deal with 20-somethings, so their opinion counts, but what's their hard evidence that, for example, these kids have trouble coping with various new situations? Well, coping with new situations when one lives on his own for the first time in one's life, that's hardly new. What's different about this phenomenon? We need hard evidence to show us, and that's not happening. Same thing in the next paragraph. Barbara Dwyer of the Job Journey, don't even know what that is. When young adults are told their entire lives how wonderful they are, then they're challenged in the business environment, they are crushed. So every 20-something is crushed these days. Every person who's 24, 25 is paralyzed. I really doubt that that's the case. Where's the hard evidence to support your claims here? Again, helicopter parenting prevents children from learning how to deal with disappointment. How many helicopter parents are there? How do we know there are that many? Next paragraph, we have a grammar error. You typically have few grammar errors. The child does receive financial aid, which can help them be secure, while they, so child is singular, they is plural. So that's an error. This entire sentence is really just speculation, which basically says, hey, if an adult is too dependent on his parents, it could be bad. Really lacks exigence. Of course, that can happen. Your generation is hardly the first to note that phenomenon. Really, the essay is very thin. You're capable of much better work. I think it's more of a lack of understanding of the assignment and the failure to narrow the thesis to a phenomenon. I think that's what caused the low grade here, and not really the capability. You do have the capability. If I had seen this draft, obviously I could have made all these comments. You could have kept some of the essay, changed other parts of the essay, try to find hard evidence that in fact millennials have been, quote unquote, as you say, overparented, that millennials have been spoiled, that they're too dependent on their parents, hard evidence to support, or maybe even change the focus of the essay a little bit. That may have gone much better. I mean, look at the final paragraph. Financial dependency may lead millennials to struggle to become financially independent. Again, of course that's true. You don't show how many millennials are in fact financially dependent on parents. You don't talk about the good parts of financial dependent on parents, financial dependency on parents. You don't give us numbers. So it's really just, this is an early draft, really, is what this is. It's not a polished final draft that you're